All right. You want to be able to see, so I wouldn't be so far. Okay, so in this one, like I said, we're gonna go over your individual common mistakes because they're common. They're gonna be common to everyone. Okay. This one, I'm gonna let you guys bring up your mistakes, or I'll observe them and we'll address them. You can relax.
Hey.
And this one was Leah's, and she's not here, so I have to introduce it. And if I leave anything out, Lace, you just, because you were there when she talked about it, okay? She said, kind of innocently, on certain ukes, I can feel the resistance. And then on other ukes, I can feel them relaxing. It seems like a very innocent statement, and you go, that's true, okay? And I think we have, as we demonstrated with V, the resistance is coming from what? And you can answer because you already have it right now. What is the resistance coming from?
Fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of the pain.
Fear of the pain. Do you see that? Okay. And then, though, how do I feel it was the question. Like, how do you know they're tense? And I said, use the yin-yang equation, right? So you could see, like here, I'm resisting his resistance. That's how I would be able to subjectively sense that he's resisting, because tense up and just lay it there, tense up. I don't feel his resistance, but for him pushing down on my leg, so I move away, I don't feel his resistance. Okay, so my sensation of his resistance is only possible by my resistance to his resistance. Do you get that? Okay, and if you don't buy that, then you should stop your Aikido training, because that's yin-yang theory, okay? And that is also our path to salvation, meaning I'm in control of my suffering, do you see? Because it's what I bring to the equation that makes up the suffering, okay? So, therefore, if I don't bring the missing element to the equation, I do not suffer, I do not cause suffering, okay? All right, so, where do I feel his resistance? I feel it here at his wrist, got it? Well, that's why you don't do it, you're not doing it by trying to turn his wrist around, okay? Remember, on you, Rain, if you try to turn my wrist around, his resistance is too strong for me. I can't do it. I could not do it on you. Maybe someone much, much bigger than me can go ahead and overpower that resistance. Do you see that? But that is not the art. Okay? So what we're going to do is actually not deal with his wrist at all. We're going to deal with this part over here. This part. The lock or the hold is in this part, okay? Not over here trying to do this, okay? And we'll get there eventually, but what I'm going to do is put this part where it fits in my body, here. Do you see that? Okay? And then, I'm going to loosen up a little because he's getting tighter, okay? So this angle's not good for him. This is me loosening it up for him. But what I want you to see is that, I'm going to come back in, there's a place where it fits, you see? And I don't actually have to hold it. You know this from other techniques you have. So I'm going to do Nikyo. That thumb goes right in that clavicle, right underneath that clavicle. You see? Some of you are like here. And then, why does his hand keep slipping down? You see? It's not seated in what Mr. Parker would call a fitting strike. So when it's fit, you don't need all the grips. You don't need all the grips to hold it. Do you see? You're using your body to help you out. So first thing is for Leah, get off of this, stop making a big deal out of this thing, okay? Come over here. where it fits, where you don't need anything. And now, as you've done that, you've given yourself a larger force engine than this here. Because here, I'm using my body. You see, my whole body can go in. Got it? Well, good up. Okay, and so he's pushing. I'm not trying to go with this small engine. I have my whole body. You see that? So you bring it to a larger force engine, right? At the same time that you're going around where his actual, he wants this down and off. Do you see? He wants it down, off, and he puts it back on the mat so he can get back up. You get it? So you go, you can do whatever you want, buddy, with that part. Okay? And you're over here like this. Okay? So I'm here like this. Let's demonstrate that it's in place without any grips. And I have a very slippery shirt right now, if you pay attention, and so does he. But still, anatomically, it'll lock in place. And we'll just go to here. Okay? Let's try that part. And you'll see, I don't need to contend with that wrist at all. Okay? Go. Hey. Already slight deviation. Okay? Already slight deviation. And the more you deviate from the form, it takes away from your mechanical advantage, okay? So for example, this is a huge deviation from the form, where this elbow is on the back side of my center line, okay? But when you put it on the center line, but you're like, I'm over a little, do you see? I'm past, his elbow's past my center line just a little. I did it, sensei, but on our slippery shirts here, that thing's gonna come out, do you see? But more particularly is he has this right angle to his elbow, and you want this angle to be ever so slightly ahead. Do you get it? So you mark the knee. Yeah, sensei said that knee goes there, and it's supposed to be on the other side of my center line, but there it wouldn't stay. So I'm gonna move it ahead. You see? It's ever so slightly ahead. You guys see that? And then now it's in place. So there's where you are.
Hey.
And here's where I am. Okay? Do you see that? Okay, so let us look. So here, he's got all the mechanical advantage on me, and I cannot get this technique to go. Okay, I couldn't do it on rain either. All right, here, when we're here, you all right?
Hey.
Okay, so when I'm here, he's so straight up and down. He's very close to it, so, and go ahead, don't let me do it. And he can eventually straighten his arm. And now I'm back in the worst, so you see? But when you put his arm at this, let me get a more flexible. Okay. So when you take away, when you take away that angle and make his arm go diagonally here, do you see it? Can you see it?
Yes, sensei.
Okay, then so feel your strength capacity here, yeah. And then you make this go diagonally. He loses the strength, and in fact, his resistance now pushes into mine, and the yin-yang equation works against him. Do you see? So he pushes, and he's putting the lock on himself now. Do you guys see that? So you will have those super flexible ukes. You might have to go here, but you just can't be here. The elbow has to give some sort of forward diagonal to it. Okay? All right, let's add that. You're gonna switch roles. First, stand up by each other. Okay, so we can see this. Okay? All right. There's two things you're trying to do when you're meeting force equations. One, we discussed in the first demo, is you're trying to use larger force engines. But two, in the second demo, which we're going to emphasize here, is I'm trying to take away their larger force engines. Okay? And of the two, the second one is the most important one. Okay? So you're going to go down. Good, and you want to don't do the technique in your mind. You're going to make sure that you have a forward cant to his elbow. Okay. So you don't have enough yet. Do you understand? There you go. Okay? All right, and secure your grip on the trap and the lat. All right, Chris, you're going to resist her technique. Go, Chris. Go. Okay? You got really nope, go back in. All right, go, Chris. Your hardest. Good. Okay? So you see what happened is she took away his larger force engines by getting that forward cant. And your size, how much you weigh?
128.
128, and Chris?
200.
200 pounds, okay? So she can keep that guy's 200-pound man's arm in that hold if done this way, okay? All right, let's go. Okay, so just to why I have you guys in without your gis so that you could see more where things go, okay? The taller uke is going to have an arm that's going to lend itself more to positioning the elbow, as we just said, than the shorter uke. So oftentimes, because of our fear, pride, and ignorance, we believe the technique's going to fail more from the bigger guy or in the face of the bigger guy, and when instead often it's the smaller uke who may not overpower me, but I'm not supposed to overpower that uke. Do you see? So that's an irrelevant may. But they may provide additional difficulties to gaining the mechanics that we're trying to use, okay? Why? Because their elbow can't get where it needs to be. Do you see that? Okay? So there's very little that I can do. I can kind of get it. Do you see what I did? How I'm doing it? So you're gonna get it, okay? But you can see if I'm not paying attention and you're like, I just come here like this. The elbow is at my pelvis line, and you're like, you understand? So you have to within the form. Are you all right? We'll switch sides. Within the form, you want to try to find the form again. And is that what you're hearing?
No, I'm good.
All right. There's several ways to seek a lowering of your torso. The easiest way is to free your mind from the shoulder pinch. Do you see? Because that makes me basically that's as high as I can be in Kiza. It's the closer my knees are together, the higher my head comes off the mat. Okay? Just like the tallest I am is when my feet are together. This is going to make me shorter, okay? Well, same thing here. As I said in the first video, why you should free yourself of the shoulder pinch is because martially it doesn't do anything for me. So I can't pinch her shoulder and she can still do the roll. Do you know how to do it? No, wrong shoulder. Oh. Yes, there you go. You see, there's no amount of pinch is going to stop that from happening. Okay? So you only need this component to get and keep her in place. You see between this hold, and that hold, boom, I have it, okay? This is not relevant to it. So you can open your knee. And now my center got lower, you see, and I'm in place. The other thing you can do, because this knee is not relevant, is move up the circle. You see how I did that? And that'll lower my center even more as I bring a rotation into this thing. So I do the same lock here. Still have her forward cant, okay? So we'll have Sean come out. That push there that you feel on your chest, that means stay there, please, okay? So he's taller, and you can see this, the elbow is not over here. So you need this, and now you have to figure it out without taking that, okay? Okay, so what he wants to do with his hands is gain more control for the positioning of the elbow. Do you see that? And now you understand what your arms are actually doing. They are keeping that elbow where it needs to be. You got it? Okay. Keep this there. And get that forward cant. You look right, there you go. There you go. Nice and tight. Okay? And now you'll do the pin. Pushing this elbow forward. This elbow goes this way. This elbow, I'm gonna hold you.
Hey.
Keep your grip.
Hey.
This elbow goes this way.
Hey.
There you go. Okay, so I'll go in.
Hey.
And if you pay attention, that cant, yeah, you were forward of it, but she has all this. You see? So when you take her into this technique at the end of Katagatame, you take her to this point, she should not land here. She should not land here. She should land over here. Do you see? Do you understand? Okay. So just to make that point, it was made in the first video. This is the ending of Katagatame, and they should be brought to this ending with the pin already in place. We should not bring them to this ending and now do a pin, okay? And even if I landed here, this is not her hold. Do you get it? So we should not see all this movement in our technique, okay? She should land here. She should land there, you see? And then you're doing the technique. So that was me applying the pin at that point. And to you, it's imperceptible that I moved at all, but she feels it, obviously. And what is she feeling then if it's not me traversing the mat? She's feeling the internal pressurization and the kokyu dropping. Do you see? Just like on your compound lifts that you're doing. That's what she's feeling, okay? And it starts to just tighten everything, okay? All right, so let's work with different size uke, and some will be taller, some will be shorter. It doesn't really matter. Some will be stronger. It doesn't really matter, okay? Let's go.
Hey.
Oh, that took a long time. Did you see? Did you see?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do the other side you were doing before. Okay. So you got everything in place. Go ahead like we got there. Okay. Now sometimes it's confusing on what angle to take. Okay. And the angle becomes confusing because your fear starts to set in. So you're looking for ways of overpowering her. You don't realize it, but you are. So you will feel whatever resistance is in the natural flexibility or lack thereof, and then you want to push it. And so you're going to take the wrong angle. Or you're like, F her, I'm going to crush her. You see? And then you try to crush her and you're pressing down now. And what happens is that you wasted, this is all useless because you're taking the elbow to the wrong angle, okay? So if we look at your technique, it's not diagonally forward enough. So let me have you first correct that. And she has it on her thigh, you see? So leave it there. It's on your thigh, and it's supposed to be here, okay? And so this is a deviation. So now my work output starts to go down, and her work output starts to reach greater potential. So your force engine gets smaller, her force engine gets stronger, okay? All right, so let's see what we're doing now with the path. Okay, so if you pay attention, you keep doing what you're doing. This elbow's going this way. It's going this way as she's doing it. Further into your leg. That means it's not going anywhere because your leg is stopping it. Okay, so try a different angle. You don't have to reset everything. Go ahead. Okay, I don't want you to think I'm cheating you. Okay, you go ahead And she's starting to go around the elbow. Now she changed it when my hand came over to correct her. She's like, I must be doing something wrong, okay? But go ahead and make that mistake again. She's going around the top of the elbow. Do you see the hand's getting closer to the back, okay? So let me in. Okay? So you see all that slack? All that slack has to be taken out to there, okay? And then this elbow goes this way. This way. You see? So here's my slack is gone. You went this way. Then the other time, you're going over the top of it. Okay? So slack gone, and then this elbow goes this way. So demonstrate it. The two things, okay? So I get it all in place. Well, there's where the slack is gone, so that's where I would have ended up in the technique. Then you're starting to go this way, but my leg's in the way. So you feel the resistance, which is actually your resistance because your leg is in the way, and you start doing this. Or you go, damn, she's not doing it, so you start doing this. And you watch her elbow, it's not moving. You see that? So you're gonna take this elbow, and you're gonna move it this way. Boom, like that. Boom. That way, with my body, okay? Not, if I turn, what happens to this side of the cylinder that is my torso? It's going backwards, you see? So you turn and you're actually taking it off. So you don't turn, this thing, everything goes this way. Just like, if you move out of the way, please, go this way and I'm walking this way. Okay? All right, let's try. Same side, please. All right, so this is another common mistake. You already received the correction, but go ahead and make the mistake again. He's gonna go over the top of the elbow, do you see? He's going over the top. And now what he's doing is he's allowing for the slack that is still in the ball and socket joint to be utilized by her. So you're gonna do it again. He's going to go up, you're gonna go up, you see? And what happens is he's starting to turn her, and because the shoulder is itself not being pinned down, which it should be pinned down as you're doing the technique. So wait, stand by, we just want to see it from this angle, and you're gonna go up over, and it starts to turn her. Do you see that? Ever so slightly, okay? So let me in there, Chris. So again, I'm here. And you see there's space there. You see that? Right. Okay, so I don't want that space there. You see how I did that? Okay, and then when you start to go up, I'm bringing that space back into there. Right. You see that? So instead, it should go down. You see that? Because remember, it's a kokyuho. I'm not trying to, I wouldn't say this is hurting him at all. So I don't want to say I'm not trying to out-martial him. Because it's really, you're opening up the hold. But as a kokyu hold, everything drops. Okay? Got it? Okay, so don't pick them up again in your anxiousness to do something to that. Okay? All right, let's go.